All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today. Good Saturday morning to each and every one of you. I hope your new year 2026 is starting off on the most positive note possible, or positive foot possible. It is Saturday, January 3rd, 2026. And I have another show for you folks here today that I have to do. I have to continue to correct the record regarding what one YouTuber continues to do to myself and my business and my brand and my copyright and defamation and a whole bunch of other things. And this guy just does not stop. He just absolutely will not stop. And he's already been sued by me over 3 months ago in a circuit civil case. And in a few months, when I receive my copyright certificates from the U.S. Copyright Office, I'll be suing him in federal copyright court because he continues to commercially exploit me out here while defaming me. I call it defaming for dollars or defamation for dollars. And he continues to try to spin it in a way where it sounds like what he's doing is proper, but it's not. It absolutely is not proper. It is not legal. And I'm going to share more regarding this here today. Before we get to all that, first of all, let me make sure that everything is rolling smoothly. Let me check out the back end of YouTube. It looks like it's rolling well. Let me also make sure that the YouTube notification has gone out, and it looks like it has. Let me do a sound check. In a few months, when I receive my copyright certificates from the U.S. Copyright Office, I'll be... Okay, I believe it's rolling well. Let me try that one more time. All right, we're rolling smoothly. Let's get started with the topic first. The topic of today's stream is massive copyright infringement and defamation continues by the defendant. One more time. The topic of today's show is massive copyright infringement and defamation continues by the defendant. The first thing I want to start off by saying regarding this stream is I know there are several people out here that consume the defendant's content primarily when he's talking about me and using a ton of my content beyond what's considered fair use according to copyright law and Section 107 of copyright law, which is the fair use statute. Okay. I want to make it very clear, fair use is not an automatic shield from copyright. The amount of use matters. The nature and purpose of the use matters. Okay. Is it transformed properly? That matters. Or is it just a republication of the original, right? And is it something that is truly transformative? Is it educational? Or is it just a defamation stream to attack the person's content that you're using? Not late, Jenno. How are you doing? 1 minute delay between what I say and what goes out. Happy New Year and howdy. How's it going? Not late, Jenno. We need to connect and do some shows together this year. I look forward to that. Sorry, I look forward to that. Is there an email on your channel that I can email you at? Is it in the About section or in your description section? Let me know. I want to be able to reach out to you from my official GenuineNetworkingAssociation.org email, which will soon be GNAnetwork.org. I'm working on changing that over. But I want to make a few more statements here regarding the audience. I understand this is entertainment for you. I understand that supposedly you don't like me. I don't even think it's that. I think it's just entertainment for you, right? And when somebody's being massively commercially exploited and massively defamed, put yourself in the position of that person, in this case, me. Put yourself in that position. Do you folks ever put yourselves in other people's shoes and ask yourselves, if this was happening to you, would you be okay with it? And are you just okay with it because it's not you and it's someone else that you supposedly don't like, right? Yes, sir, we do. And yes, my email is there. Great, great. Thank you for sharing that. Much appreciated. I'm not here to try to convince people on where to go or who to support. I'm here to state what's true. I'm here to share the facts that are being misappropriated or misrepresented by the defendant constantly. And I also want to make it very clear that this is not a back and forth. This is not a back and forth. This is me correcting the record and standing up for my reputation and my rights. Because if I don't respond to it, if I don't share the truth and correct it, then all people have to go by is what the defendant says. And he's very good at making false statements sound true, sound real. Well, you can actually share with a mod wrench. You don't have to do all that, bypass the filter. With a mod wrench, you can just put your actual email there, but it's all good. I'll go to your channel and I'll get it, man. No worries. Thank you so much for that. So let's get right to it. Okay, let's get right to it here. I want to start this off by once again correcting the record calmly and factually. Someone can talk about me as long as they want. That is not the issue. The issue is not the defendant talking about me all day, every day if he wants to. He can talk about me all day, every day. The issue is when false statements are presented as fact about my business, my finances, and the people who work with me, and when my copyrighted content is used as the foundation of someone else's show for commercial gain. This guy basically has made his channel primarily about me. When he uses content throughout most of his streams regarding me, the content is me. The purpose of his stream is me, not him. And that's what he seems to not understand. That's what they call a watch party. Okay? We'll get more into that in a little bit. Section 1, false statements about my business being a sham. I'm going to paraphrase this. What he asserted, he repeatedly stated that my business is not real or legitimate. Where's your proof on that? Show me proof that my business is not real. Because in the court of law, I'm going to ask you in front of the judge and possibly a jury, if we get to that point, to prove to me that my business is not real or legitimate. He claimed that because my company is early stage or not highly profitable. Yeah, I've been running this company for a while, and I've been slowly but surely building it. And it's taken a lot of time to get it to where I want to get it to. That doesn't mean it's fake. And a lot of what he's done has tremendously affected me from being able to grow it. It's affected me personally as Elias Melas. So he says he claimed, in other words, that because my company is early stage or not highly profitable, it must be fraudulent. my company is not fraudulent. The GNA is real. Look at the screen. There's a federally registered trademark. I have an LLC with the state of California. I've got a business license with Redwood City. I have a fictitious business name, a DBA, with San Mateo County here where I live. Elias Melas, DBA, Genuine Networking Association, or GNA for short. If my company was fraudulent, they would not issue me anything business related. Any local, state, or federal government agency would not issue me any licenses or anything like that if my business was fraudulent. He asserted that registering an LLC, trademarks, or copyrights is meaningless and done only to silence critics. So he's coming out publicly and stating that starting an LLC and registering trademarks for your business name and registering copyrights, this is all of the things that any normal business owner would do. He's saying that doing that is meaningless and it's done because he feels that I'm trying to silence him. No, you can talk about me all you want, sir. Go live and talk about me right now if you want. Just don't use large portions of my content. Don't make your entire stream about my content. And don't defame me or my business or people that are a part of my business. I mean, this guy is really, really, really pushing it. He doesn't even realize probably how much he's pushing it by what he's saying and doing. He framed my business as deceptive rather than developmental. That's absolutely false. Why this is improper. Calling a legally formed business a sham as a factual claim, not as a question, is business disparagement. Legitimacy is determined by lawful information and operation, not by someone else's opinion about revenue. Section 2, false financial allegations and implications. He's going back to this again. I corrected a lot of this yesterday and the day before, and he continues to amplify it as facts. What he asserted, and I'm going to paraphrase. He repeatedly speculated about my income, bank records, taxes, and donations. It's none of your business, sir. That's none of your business. And it's not relevant to the case because I'm not suing for loss of income or business damages. He implied I am hiding money or engaged in financial wrongdoing. Can you prove that, sir? I'm going to ask you to prove that in court. And if you can't prove that, that's going to further prove defamation. You better have some solid proof regarding your factual claims about my business. You're making factual claims. They're not true. You're going to be asked to prove it in the court of law, not only in the circuit civil case, but also in the copyright case. And when you can't prove it, I think you know how that's going to come off to the judge. He implied, I think I read this, so I know. He implied I am hiding money or engaged in financial wrongdoing. Nope, I am not. He claimed I avoid damages claims because I have something to conceal. No, monetary damages are very difficult to prove. And yes, they do open up your financials to being subpoenaed. I'm not concerned about that. I just know it's hard to prove that. And that's not the purpose of my case. The purpose of my case is reputational harm and massive commercial exploitation through copyright infringement. So him saying that or suggesting my finances would expose fraud if examined, I'm going to ask you again to prove that, sir. I want you to prove that. Can you prove that right now? Can you prove that in the court of law? Or are you just running your mouth for clicks and donations? Why this matters. Speculation about someone's finances presented as evidence of wrongdoing is not analysis. It is narrative building. Courts do not permit unfounded financial accusations used to attack credibility. He's trying to attack my credibility to his audience to keep them around and keep them donating and to prevent me from growing. And I also feel that he just wants to do whatever he can to put things out there about me so my business and my YouTube channels and all that never grow. That's what he's trying to do, in my opinion. Section 3, misrepresentation of volunteers as fraud or a pyramid scheme. He doubled down on this after already talking about this the other day. He's now calling my business and my volunteers a pyramid scheme. This guy has no clue about real life, in my opinion. This guy does not understand how organizations work and how they start off, and how sometimes organizations go many years with making little to no profit. They're building over the course of time. And this is not the only thing that I do, and this is not my only revenue stream. This is something I'm trying to build legitimately. It still does not give him the right to try to paint myself or my business or the people that are volunteers for my business in the way he's doing it. What he asserted, I'm going to paraphrase again. He claimed volunteers with titles are fake employees. First of all, they're not fake, they're real people. Second of all, they are not technically employees, they are volunteers. And they've chosen to volunteer. He stated volunteers donating money proves a pyramid scheme. I would like for you to prove that in court, sir. I would like for you to prove that in court. I would like for you to prove that right now on YouTube. He alleged, I pretend to employ people to create false legitimacy. First of all, I don't employ anyone. I'm a single member LLC here in the state of California. I'm the only I'm the only employee / board member of my organization through the LLC. I'm still an individual. That's why you have a DBA. The LLC is a separate entity from my personal name. The DBA is there to show that I'm the one that has the rights to it and I own it. So my response is volunteers are not employees and titles describe roles. I said the same thing the other day. I'll say it again. Not payroll status. Now, volunteers donating to an organization is lawful, common, and ethical in both nonprofit and early stage for-profit settings. Suggesting otherwise is a fundamental misunderstanding of how organizations operate. Do you realize that many volunteers for Donald Trump's campaign also donated money to him? How about Elon Musk, for example, Defendant? My mother is a big part of our Greek Orthodox Church. Our church is a nonprofit organization. My mother volunteers a lot of her time with the church, and she also donates money to the church. Are you saying that my mother is breaking the law? And are you saying, sir, that the church is a pyramid scheme? Because that's what it kind of sounds like you're saying. You really have no clue what you're talking about. You really don't. Either you don't have a clue about what you're talking about, or you have to make things up to keep people engaged and to keep making money. I mean, you sound extremely ridiculous. You're not making any sense. And I firmly believe, in my opinion, you are doing it purposefully to keep painting me in a negative light, to continue having that audience engagement and to continue the defamation for dollars. Suggesting otherwise, I already read that. is a fundamental misunderstanding of how organizations operate. Section 4, false claims of fraud, scams, and criminality. I hope you have proof of this, sir. I hope you have proof, hardcore proof of all these factual assertions you're putting out there publicly on your streams that are absolutely false. What he asserted, I'm going to paraphrase again. He repeatedly labeled me a fraud. What proof do you have that I'm a fraud, sir? Show me proof publicly that I'm a fraud. Show the court proof that I'm a fraud. Stop saying I'm a fraud. Prove it. If you can prove I'm a fraud, then maybe you might have some merit, but I'm not a fraud. And you can't prove it because no proof exists of something I've never been or done. He suggested I operate a scam. What's the scam, sir? Can you show me proof of the scam? Where's the proof of your scam? And if you're trying to say it's entertainment, no, you can't sit there and make up things about people that affect their reputation along with their business's reputation and then say it's commentary and parody. Hey, GLM, how are you doing? Hey, Lewis, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Good morning. He implied criminal intent without evidence. Where's your evidence, sir? Prove to me what my criminal intent is, sir. Can you prove that publicly or in a court of law? If you already had all the proof, sir, that I'm that I have criminal intent, that I operate a scam, that I am a fraud, that I'm my company is a pyramid scheme. If you had proof of that, you would have already submitted that to the court. You haven't done that. It doesn't exist. So I'm asking you to prove it now. Prove it. Prove it. Why this crosses the line? Accusations of fraud and criminal conduct are not protected simply by adding in my opinion afterward. Courts look at substance, not labels. Even if you start to backtrack and say, oh, in my opinion, Eli's a fraud. In my opinion, his organization is fraudulent and a pyramid scheme. In my opinion, he's doing this, doing that. Prove it. Prove it. Show me proof. Section 5, admissions relevant to copyright and commercial exploitation. What he admitted, I'm going to paraphrase again. He stated he will continue using my content regardless of how much he uses. He claimed any amount of use is fair use. He's done that for years. No one's ever held him accountable, and I finally am. He acknowledged making money while responding to me. That's highly provable by going to any one of his streams with his donation ticker at the bottom. So, why this is so powerful? Fair use does not mean unlimited use. When 70% plus of a broadcast is someone else's copyrighted material shown continuously, including my face, that is not commentary, that is repackaging. Section 6, contradictions that matter. In one breath, he says my business is fake and irrelevant. In the next, he spends hours monetizing content about it. Those positions cannot coexist. So let me wrap up this section by clearly stating what I said. The issue is not speech. He's trying to make it about the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and he's trying to make it about fair use. The issue is not speech. The issue is defamation. copyright infringement, and commercial exploitation. And those are governed by law, sir, not your YouTube theatrics. Now, let's break everything down into 4 clean sections. Those sections are as follows: copyright / fair use issues, defamation / business disparagement content or context, business disparagement context. The spoliation hearing posture, he filed spoliation of evidence / adverse inference, saying I destroyed evidence, which I didn't. I put some videos to private on YouTube to protect my channel from false flagging and harassment. And then I offered him those videos in a different way, the same exact videos. I would host them on my website privately, and anyone with the link, including him, can access those links in a streamable format, or they can download them too. And my own correcting the record framing. You wonder how much of these people's info someone is sharing with someone else out here on YouTube. I don't know. That's drama, GLM. I don't really care about the drama. I mean, I know why you're saying it, and I get it. But you know what? Those people are going to just keep doing the drama thing. That's all they're here for. Now, I'm not here for the drama. I'm here to help people. I will correct the record if drama groups are coming at me like these groups are coming at me. But yeah, I just think that's just a waste of my time. I'm not. You put whatever you want. I'm just saying it's a waste of my time. Anyway, number 1, structural analysis. This is a classic watch party plus stretch format. I want you all to understand this very clearly. I'm going to explain very clearly what the defendant is doing. Even before we get to the hour-long stretched segment, the structure is already clear. The defendant plays your content early, rendition of a song dedicated to him, and then keeps your likeness and statements as the anchor of the stream for extended periods, uses repeated pauses, commentary, chat interaction, and digressions, explicitly states intent to keep responding indefinitely. I will keep responding. I'll keep making money responding to you. This matters because fair use is not about talking a lot. Courts look at whether the original work remains the focus, whether the use substitutes for the original, and whether the commentary adds new meaning versus looping, ridicule, or audience stoking. All he does is says the same things about me all day, every day, using different streams of mine or different pieces of content of mine. It's the same thing. There's nothing of value that he says regarding my content. And part of fair use is, the nature of the work and the substance, right? Is he transforming it into something educational, right? Or is he just using it as his content arc and a watch party to defame me and incite defamation for dollars, right? What's happening here is called content stretching, not transformation. One idea stretched into 30 to 60 minutes. Even if he takes a 3 to 5 minute clip of mine he will pause it, show it on the screen, still showing my face, still showing the copyrighted content, and then he'll just talk about it for like 30 or 45 minutes. But he's played multiple clips, and then he pauses, thinking that pausing is going to give him a magic shield of fair use against copyright infringement. And that's not how it works. He does not understand, or at least is pretending to not understand, how the 4 factors of fair use come into play. Same assertions repeated, same thing, nothing new. Same thing, a different piece of content to keep bringing that audience back. Having me on the screen is what keeps the audience there. Your face, name, work remains central the entire time. It does. How about this, defendant? How about you just talk about me without using any of my content and see what happens to your engagement? Will you still get a lot of donations not using my content? You can talk about the same things, right? You can talk about the same things as if you were using my content. So why can't you do that? Why won't you try that? You've said many times before that you don't need my content to be successful. Okay? How about you prove it? How about you start proving things that come out of your mouth? If you're going to talk about it, be about it. If not, you're just proving to me and everyone else that you're nothing but a content thief. I've proven that, and I'll keep proving that, and I'll prove that in court as well. That pattern becomes even more problematic once you show the hour-long segment with your image continuously displayed. Yeah. I mean, he took my stream from a couple days ago. He screen recorded it. And he basically took clips, but left it, even when he paused in between the clips, he left my image right there on the screen almost the entire time, like 95% of the time. Number 2. Hello, Tina. Welcome to the show. Admissions that directly undercut his fair use narrative. There are multiple self-inflicted admissions in this transcript that matter legally. A. Intent to keep using your content for money. He repeatedly states, and I'm going to paraphrase, but very clearly, he will keep making money responding to me. He will continue regardless of my objections. That goes directly to commercial purpose and market substitution. B. I'll use as much of your content as I want. This is not how fair use works, sir. And saying it on record is damaging. He keeps saying that I can use as much content as I want, as long as I talk over it, right? As long as I transform and talk over it. I can use the whole thing. I can use everyone's content all day, every day. There's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't work like that. Fair use is context specific and proportional, not a blank check. It's not a blank check, sir. He admits stretching and repetition. He repeatedly acknowledges responding to clips from the last few days, going over the same material repeatedly, intentionally prolonging coverage. You stretch things much longer than necessary because you want to keep the people around longer so that way they can donate. After you keep on making more, statements of falsity regarding me. That supports an argument of repackaging, not critique. Number 3, the volunteer pyramid scheme narrative is not opinion drift, it is escalation. This is important and subtle. He does not merely express an opinion once. He repeats the claim across long segments. In essence, stretching out these clips, stretching out my content as the arc of his stream. Adds new factual accusations each time. Builds a narrative of fake employees, fake titles, volunteers paying me, pyramid scheme, fraud, hiding finances. What is your problem, sir? Really, honestly, what is your problem? I ask that respectfully. Do you have a problem with the way the real world works? Because the way that you state all these things is not the way the real world works. And even if you're going to play within your playground on your YouTube channel, even that has real world consequences that you now are facing in this circuit civil case I filed, and you'll be facing more real world consequences when I file the federal copyright case on you. And you just don't like the fact that you're finally being held accountable. And you have to finally face real world consequences. Because at age 40, sir, you've never learned responsibility, in my opinion. You've never been held responsible for anything, in my opinion. So you feel that you're invincible, and you feel that you're shielded from the law based on your own interpretation of it, which is highly skewed, in my opinion. It's either highly skewed or you're just playing it off because that's the only way you can keep the people around and keep making money, in my opinion. This pattern matters because opinion is protected. Repetitive factual framing plus rhetorical questions plus alleged proof moves it towards asserted fact, not mere opinion. He explicitly invites the audience to accept it as reality. How is it not a sham? The way you present it, sir, you're trying to paint me as a piece of shit. Okay? Well, you're trying to paint me more than that. I think all of us have been a piece of crap in the past. We're all humans. We all make mistakes. But when you try to say things that are not true about my business and my name and my likeness, that affects me reputationally. That's reputational harm. It has hurt me massively, and that's why we're in court. I want that to stop. Talk about me all you want. Stop harming my reputation. Stop defaming me. Stop violating my copyright. Stop commercially exploiting me. You're doing all that. Whether you admit it or not, you're not going to admit it. Anyone that's actually doing that and being sued would be dumb to admit that, because that pretty much solidifies the case. But I'm going to prove it. So, you're not going to have to admit it because I've got more than enough proof to actually prove that. From an evidentiary standpoint, this shows reckless persistence, not a one-off comment. Yeah, you can clearly know what the law says. You're right, Lewis. You're right about that. And GLM, those are public facts that you're stating there. And that person has also talked about those situations publicly. I don't care to respond about them. All I'm saying is that, what you're saying there is public information, and it's also been said by her. So anyway. Number 4, psychological framing. While some may think this is cognitive dissonance, this is more so intentional behavior. So I initially was thinking it could be cognitive dissonance. And a lot of people here on my end think that's what it is. But a few of us, including myself, We no longer think that. We think it's intentional behavior. This transcript strongly supports intentional, instrumental behavior, not confusion. Why? He repeatedly demonstrates awareness of legal boundaries. So he knows the law. He knows what the boundaries are. He references courts, judges, anti-SLAPP, copyright standards. He adjusts phrasing midstream. That's my opinion, then escalates again. It's his content strategy. That's his strategy, to keep people around and keep making money. He openly states strategic intent. Keep responding, keep monetizing, keep pressure. That is not someone confused about reality. That is not someone confused about reality. That is someone performing for an audience while managing legal exposure in real time. Right. That is someone performing for an audience while managing legal exposure in real time. That's exactly what he's doing. It's exactly what you're doing, sir. In plain terms, this reads as deliberate escalation for engagement, not mental inconsistency. Number 5. Why this transcript actually helps me. This was from his second stream yesterday. He rebroadcasted part of my stream towards the end from yesterday because I basically, preempted his narrative of what he was going to initially talk about on his night stream. And so he went a different route. And just used more of my content and repeated the same stuff that he's been repeating every single day. Nothing new, sir. What's new? Tell me something new about me. Tell me something new about me and show me proof on all of your accusations. Show me the proof. Show it to me. Without me saying a word in court, this transcript shows ongoing use of my content for commercial purposes, repeated fixation, escalating claims about my business and volunteers, a refusal to disengage, and statements that undercut his own defenses. This does not need to be argued at the spoliation hearing and will not be argued there. It won't. This is unnecessary. This is context, not ammunition for that motion. I believe he had brought up the spoliation of evidence hearing. But later, for copyright, defamation, or pattern of conduct purposes, this transcript is extremely useful. Oh my God. I just, when I ran this transcript, I didn't listen to this whole stream. I went back and I heard maybe half of it. And it's just the same repetitive garbage. I was like, wow, he just cannot de-escalate. He doesn't care about court. He cares about YouTube optics. He cares about being right in front of his audience, in front of YouTube. That's what he cares about. He wants to be better than anyone. And if anyone else is better than him, he can't handle that. And I'm not even trying to be better than anyone than myself. Like, I just work on myself. That's all. Many small clips, plus I paused a lot, does not automatically equal fair use. The analysis turns on what the use is doing, how much of your work is functionally being delivered to his audience, and whether his use competes with or substitutes for viewing your original. Those are exactly the pressure points that have been pointed out. we are at 45 minutes. I'm going to step away, take a quick break, and then come back probably for another 30 to 45 minutes to finish this up. Let me cue up some royalty-free YouTube music here. Boo-doo-boo-doo-boo. All right. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let me see here. Let's see. A couple more here. All right. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for a 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 minute break, right, GLM? Remember that? Don is still sleeping, by the way. I got up early this morning. We've got some things to do, and I needed to get this stream out. So Don is not going to more than likely be here for this stream. If she gets up in a little bit, then she may pop on, but don't expect her here. But anyway, stick around. We'll be right We're back. We are back live. Yeah. Yeah. Feel it. Yeah. I know GLM wants a dance stream. Maybe we'll give her a dance stream one of these days. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Eli. Glad you could all join me here today on this wonderful, amazing Saturday morning. It is Saturday, January 3rd, 2026, and I hope that your New Year's has started off on the best note, the best foot possible. We're moving forward here at the GNA in 2026, and for those of you that want to come along on the journey of positivity and happiness and success and no more drama, no more nonsense, hey, that's what we're here for, sure. We're going to continue to, call out improper behavior and share with people, what the better alternate is, the better substitute is. And I want to take this moment right now to really pay props to some people here in the chat. GLM has been around for a while. She lives out here in the San Francisco Bay Area near where my lady Dawn and I live. And, she's been dealing with a lot of criticism and a lot of garbage nonsense. And she's been chastised for protecting herself and standing up for herself. And same with you, Not Late Jen. I haven't known you for a while. I met you through GLM, but you've been dealing with it. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to go to bat for people, especially when the people that have been attacking the people I care for, good people, have come at me. And it's all been a game. It's all been a game for attention and monetization, right? That's what it boils down to. Create as much outrage as possible, talk as much smack about people as possible, right? Do terrible things to get attention that are going to upset people like GLM, Not Late Jenno, myself, and many others here or all over YouTube. And then when we clap back, per se, like some people say, clap back, when we respond to defend ourselves in the live stream chats, the comment sections of community postings, live stream replay comment sections, pre-recorded video comment sections, or when we go live or make our own content to clap back, these people can't handle a dose of their own medicine. They cannot handle a dose of their own medicine. So, if you can't practice what you preach, then stop preaching, right? One of the biggest cardinal rules of life is practice what you preach. Real, recognize real, homie, true dat. Yeah, Not Late Jenno, absolutely. GLM is saying that you can't cry that I'm slandering you here. Well, listen, I'm not necessarily saying that I agree with the way everything is stated in my chat regarding anyone. I'm not specifically mentioning anyone. What I'm saying is, generally, I understand why people, at least here in my live stream chats, are reacting and responding that way. It's because they're only giving these people back what they've gotten from them, right? Anyway, let's continue here. Number one, the pause and stretch tactic is legally risky because it keeps my work as the product. So the defendant has made my content his product. He knows it, And I'm sure his audience knows it, but they don't care. They're going to continue doing it until they're legally stopped. And in the meantime, they're going to try to present it as, I'm the one that's trying to silence them. I'm the one that's breaking the rules, the laws, etc., when the complete opposite is the truth, right? So what I described from the 30-minute and 8-second mark through the 1 hour, 39-minute and 9-second mark, about 68 minutes of the defendant reacting while keeping my video, my face, and my stream frame on screen 95% of the time is not incidental display. So for about 68 minutes, he reacted while keeping my video with my face and my stream frame on screen 95% of the time during that during that time period on his stream. Even while pausing, he still has my face there. That's still copyright. It is closer to your video is the stage and his commentary is the soundtrack. So you remember, and movies still have this nowadays, more so soundtracks were a bigger deal decades ago, right? But they're still significant to this day, right? So movies have a soundtrack. The soundtrack is just the music that was made for the movie, right? But it's not the heart of the movie, right? So my video is the stage of the defendant's streams, and his commentary is the soundtrack. That's a great analogy there, huh? That matters under fair use factor 1, purpose and character. Courts look at the use under challenge and whether it is genuinely transformative or just a different packaging of the same work. The Supreme Court has emphasized that new meaning alone isn't a magic wand. The inquiry focuses on the purpose and the character of the challenged use, including commercial exploitation. If your face/video is on screen while he pauses to talk, he is still displaying your copyrighted audio-visual work. He's still holding the audience on your image. You're using that to keep the audience around, even paused on the screen. You're using your on-screen presence, or he's using my on-screen presence to retain attention and engagement. And that's why, he paused it. That's why the I paused it can actually cut against him. He's extending the time your work is being exhibited to his viewers. It's exactly what you're doing. How about just talk about me without using any of my content? And let's see how much engagement you get. Now what he's going to do is he'll still play clips of me and not show it on the screen. He'll just use the audio, or he'll only show it on screen when he unpauses and is playing part of it, right? You still have to factor in the amount and all the other factors of fair use that we are once again going to go through here today. Number 2, many small clips is not a shield if the totality functions as a substitute. You flagged that he pulled clips from the first video he used of yours on this stream from 9 minutes and 14 seconds to 1 hour, 13 minutes and 14 seconds. Roughly 64 minutes of source span. So he pulled that from those sections of my stream. And he stretched that 64 minute of source span into 69 minutes of his show. Even if the selected portions are small, the functional result can still be delivering the heart of your stream in a way that lets his audience get the experience without going to your channel, while he monetizes engagement farms off the presentation. That's exactly right. That goes straight to fair use factor 3, amount, I keep screwing that up. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Substantiality. The substantial amount. I screwed that up. Forgive me. I have a hard time pronouncing that word. It's a substantial amount. Give me a second. Yeah, give me a second here. Substantiality. There we go. Substantiality. I screwed up. What it basically means is the quality of being real, solid, important, or significant. We all make mistakes. And if this dude or anyone on his side makes fun of me mispronouncing a word or not knowing how to pronounce it, then it just shows like how big of a reach that is. Come on. We all screw things up every now and then, including me. Wow. Substantiality. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I looked it up myself, just like you did. These are big words, not legeno. They're big words, man. This goes straight to fair use factor 3, amount, substantiality, and factor 4, market effect. The statute is explicit that courts must weigh the amount and substantiality. I got it now. Used and the effect upon the potential market. A common mistake reaction creators make is thinking short clips is automatically safe or are automatically safe. It isn't, especially when the clips are chosen to cover the best or most inflammatory moments. The audience can follow the original content through the reaction. The original is the center of the show. That's what this guy has done. He's turned, effectively, he's turned my content into his content. He has not created a separate piece of content. In order for fair use to apply, it has to be transformed in a way where his version is a completely different piece of content that doesn't take away from the original. Number 3, the defendant's own words in your transcript help show commercial oppositional purpose rather than neutral commentary. In the transcript, he repeatedly frames as a back and forth cycle, says use of your content is justified, easy, and repeatedly leans on freedom of speech as if that overrides copyright. No, it does not. What world is this guy living in? Sir, what world are you living in? Do you make up your own rules? Sir, are you the law? He also makes comments. Oh, sorry. That's not how copyright law works. Fair use is a four-factor balancing test, not an inalienable rights trump card. It's not. He also makes comments that read like, I'm responding to you. Okay. Does that give you a lifetime free pass to violate people's copyright because you're responding to them? You think just because people talk about you, you can violate their copyright? That's what he thinks. He thinks if you talk about him, if anyone talks about him, he can use your entire piece of content under fair use to respond to you. That's not the case. especially when I'm not even using any of his content to respond to his stuff or to react or to correct the record, right? This is part of the commentary cycle. Don't try to take down this stream because I already downloaded a copy. That was regarding on the second clip that he played towards the end of his stream, and then he blended in some other clips in between that. Those kinds of statements can matter because they frame the use as confrontational, monetized, and intentional, not incidental or educational. And separately, his "don't try to take down this streamline" underscores he understands platform enforcement and is playing to it. Right. No, he was telling me within his stream last night to not flag his stream. If I want to file a DMCA on that, I can. Whether I'm going to do it or not, I haven't decided yet. Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. That's up to me to decide. Number 4, your news segment comparison is persuasive, but the legal point is why, not the minutes. You're right about the pattern, and I fed this to ChatGPT. I basically share my thoughts and ask it for its thoughts, and it compares. Okay? You're right about the pattern you're describing. Reputable news commentary generally uses brief clips for an identifiable purpose, followed by substantive discussion that stands on its own. But the best legal framing isn't news only does 30 seconds. It is the clip is subordinated to the commentary, not the other way around. And the audience is not getting a replacement viewing of the underlying work. If the defendant keeps your face/video up for nearly the entire hour, your work is not subordinate. It is the ongoing visual product. If the defendant keeps your face/video up for nearly the entire hour, your work is not subordinate. It is the ongoing visual product. Number 5, actionable in federal copyright terms, what you would actually need to prove. If you pursue a federal infringement claim, the core elements are generally you own a valid copyright. I already know that. I've got them coming. Number 2, the defendant copied protected expression, which with a full on-screen replay is typically straightforward. The fight becomes his fair use defense under Section 107 of copyright law. He thinks Section 107 shields him indefinitely, and no one has the right to ever sue him for copyright infringement because fair use just shields him indefinitely. It's an absolute law, and there's nothing anyone can do about it. So if that's the case, sir, then why does the law exist if no one can ever assert that right? In the opposite way of it being misused by people like you. Your strongest fair use rebuttal themes from what you describe. Number 1, factor 1, purpose and character. Commercial/engagement purpose. Your video used as the set for a show. Pausing does not reduce copying. It can increase display time. I bet you didn't think about that. Factor number 2. Amount and substantiality. I learned that word. Wonderful. Never had to use it before. Now I do. Now I know it. I admit I screwed pronouncing that up. Even if clips are small, the selection spans a large portion of your stream, or of his stream, and appears designed to capture the good stuff. Exactly. It keeps his audience there. And what does he want? He doesn't want them ever coming to view my version, which is the original. Factor 3, market effect. Reaction, watch party substitutes for viewing your stream, especially if his audience is there for the show and not your channel. Yeah, they're there for the show. They call it the shit show. Call it whatever you want. Copyright infringement is copyright infringement regardless of what you call the show or what you feel the purpose is. The purpose is actually, how the federal copyright court will see this. And this is pretty cut and dry. And a key Supreme Court friendly point post-Warhol, that was, I believe, a past Supreme Court copyright case. Courts focus on the specific use and its commercial character, not just the claim that it adds commentary in the abstract. So what to preserve to nail this cleanly, to make this hit hardest as evidence? You want a simple, judge-friendly packet. Timeline of the reaction block. Start time, end time, total duration 68 minutes. Note, Elias video visible on screen 95% of the time, including while paused. Source span description number 2. Clips drawn from Elias stream segment spanning 0914 through 01.13.14. Span 64 minutes. Exhibit stills 6 to 10 screenshots showing your face video visible while paused. The progress bar, paused frame, his overlays, monetization elements if present. Oh, they're always present at the bottom of his screen. That your content remains the visual anchor. That's right. That your content remains the visual anchor. Yeah, always. Number 4, transcript excerpts showing his fair use is easy/justified framing. Transcript excerpts showing his fair use is easy/justified framing. Example, his statements about fair use and the use of your content is justified. Those are his words, not mine. This turns your argument into a clear visual. This was a watch party presentation with intermittent commentary, not a short quotation for criticism. This guy does not understand that fair use allows small excerpts for commentary and criticism and educational purposes. Excuse me. Check out the chat here real quick. GLM says, you can't believe that the defendant is letting that other lady in Florida ruin his case. When he loses, he will, change up his tune and recognize how much that lady sabotaged his case. I agree, and she keeps filing into the case. She filed 2 recent filings as a non-party again, and she filed them as emergency status. Now I'm just waiting to see, is she going to email the judicial assistant again and try to request a hearing when she has no rights to do so as a non-party? And for the 3rd time, the judicial assistant will respond to her and say, you are not a party to the case. Hello, 1-800-FRAUDBUSTERS. Are you here because you're here for the truth? I'm just curious. Anyway. Number 7, one last very important accuracy note. A judge won't rule because it feels wrong. The judge will rule because the use is not sufficiently transformative as used, the amount used is excessive relative to purpose, and the reaction harms the market by substituting for the original. Your described facts line up well with those legal levers. We're at 1 hour and 20 minutes. We're almost done. Now, after he used the first clip and stretched it out to over an hour of his stream, he then played another part or another past video of mine and mixed in several other clips of my content. The way I'm framing it is like this. This is coming from me. Talk all you want, but don't defame and don't commercially exploit my copyrighted works is the exact clean, high ground position that lands with normal people and with a court. First, the numbers. The defendant's stream length last night was 2 hours and 14 minutes, which equals 134 minutes. My content that was shown 1 hour and 37 minutes, which equals 97 minutes. If you divide 97 by 134, you get 0.7239, which is 72.4%. Basically, 72% of his stream last night was him using multiple aspects of my content. So 72% of his stream last night was him using my content to keep people there. 72%. And the rest of his stream was still him talking about me, which is fine. But he was still defaming me, which is not fine, right? If he's not violating my copyright, he's defaming my character, or vice versa, or both. Wow. What a heck of a content strategy that is. That's one heck of a content strategy. Violate someone's copyright and defame their character, and have an audience there that thinks that's okay, and then they pay him money for that. Wow. What is going on with people's morals, values, and ethics nowadays, right? That's a powerful, simple pattern, simple fact pattern. The majority of the show is my work on his screen. The majority of the show, his show, is my work on his screen. That doesn't make his content original. It doesn't make it fair use. Why this is legally risky for him on copyright? This is not occasional quotation. It is a program built around my work. When 72% of a show is my videos displayed, it becomes very hard for him to argue that my work is merely referenced. It reads like my content is the core product of his stream and his commentary is layered on top. That's exactly what it is. No, it's divide, man. No, in order to get a percentage, man, you do divide. Subtracting just reduces the number. When you divide the smaller number into the bigger number, it gives you the percentage. No, don't worry about it, dude. Listen, bro, we all make mistakes, and look, no one's perfect, including me, right? It's all good, man. No worries. That hits fair use factor 1, purpose, character, and factor 4, market effect, especially hard. Number 2, many small clips don't help if the overall presentation substitutes for the original. Fair use doesn't count clips like coupons. Listen to this, man. Fair use doesn't count clips like coupons. Courts look at the qualitative reality, the quality. Did the audience basically get your content through his stream? Were the best parts selected across a long span? Yes, they were. Did he transform the purpose or just repackage it? He repackaged it. That's what he did. He didn't transform it. He defamed it. This guy does not transform my work. He defames it for dollars. He commercially exploits it by defaming it for dollars. Your description is the classic watch party pattern. He can claim small clips, but if the audience experiences your work as his show, the small clips defense gets weak. Absolutely. Number 3, the paused but your face stays up detail is huge. If he paused and kept your video frame on screen 95% of the time, the display of your work is continuous. In practical terms, he's using your on-screen presence to hold attention of that audience, keep the audience locked in, and farm reactions while your work remains the visual anchor. That's not incidental, that's exhibition. Number 4, his own transcript lines show he's treating copyright like a freedom of speech trump card. That's what you're doing, sir. In the transcript, he explicitly says things like, use of your content is justified, easy, that the amount doesn't really matter, and he frames it as a back and forth banter where using your content is allowed by the law. Small excerpts are allowed if you do it properly and you don't defame me, right? And you don't use the heart of the work. That posture is overconfident and legally sloppy. Fair use is not easy, and amount absolutely can matter, especially when the accused use becomes a substitute viewing. Number 5, this looks commercial/engagement driven, not news reporting. Your news segment comparison is rhetorically strong. Let's repeat this again in a better way. We talked about it earlier. In legitimate commentary, the clip is subordinate to analysis. The clip is limited to what's necessary for the point, not making a full extended 1 hour part of a stream, even playing clips and keeping my video right there on the screen showing my face as the anchor to keep people there, right? The audience isn't given a replacement viewing of the underlying work. Your fact pattern is the opposite for me. Your work stays central for long stretches. Why this also matters for your defamation versus rights framing. So when I asked ChatGPT a question, it says, you're 100% correct to say he can talk about you as much as he wants. Yeah, you can talk about me all you want. The line is, number 1, defamation/business disparagement and copyrighted audio-visual exploitation, watch party repackaging, especially when it is monetized/engagement farm. That's where the line is at. That is a clean adult framing that doesn't sound like I want to silence criticism. It sounds like criticism is fine. Theft and false factual smears aren't. He keeps saying, I'm trying to silence him. He knows I'm not silencing him. But there's nothing else he can say to keep that audience around. He has to say that. If he doesn't say that, what's the point of even talking about me at all? Or trying to use me as his content arc? And here is the hard-hitting ending right here. I'm going to put it out there. This is very hard-hitting. Start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. We'll be going off the air in a few minutes. We are at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Let me see here. Let me be clear. The defendant can talk about me for hours if he wants to. That's his right. The issue is not him speaking. The issue is two specific lines he keeps crossing: defamation and copyright exploitation. On copyright, this was not a quick quote to make a point. By my timestamps, roughly 1 hour and 37 minutes of his 2 hour and 14-minute stream was my content on screen. That's about 72% of the show. And during large portions, even while he paused to talk, my video and my face stayed on the screen almost the entire time. That is not commentary with a brief clip. That is building a show around someone else's work and using it as the product. He's made my streams his product. And he keeps saying that it's not, but it is. He'll find out when we file in federal copyright court once my certificates are registered and mailed out to me within the next few months. I'll keep you on the loop of that. If he wants to criticize me, he can do what I do, speak in his own words. But if you're displaying someone's copyrighted video for the majority of your program while farming engagement off their name and likeness, that's not just talking. That's commercial exploitation. And that's what I've got today. Got a few things to do with Dawn, and then I'll probably do a walking stream later this afternoon right here on GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. Let me check out the chat real quick. I'm not Legeno with the $2 super chat. Thank you for another great show. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. You know, what is that? Is that London? I'll tell you, man. Your money is worth a lot here. It's worth your $2 here in the U.S. is worth $2.70. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. We're gonna like that. Hang on. We liked that and we hearted that. Thank you so much, Not Legeno. Not Legeno, we're gonna give you a big round of applause. Thank you, man. Don and I in the GNA, we really appreciate it. We really do. We really, really do. Geno is making it rain, says GLM. Making it rain, rain, rain. That was James Cox. He's still a moderator here. He's the one that started the I Am a Creator community where I met you at, GLM. Do you remember James Cox? Making it rain, making it rain, making it rain, 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 right? You know what's funny, GLM? Sure, I copied that from what's his name? Now I forgot his name, and I just said it. I just said his name, James Cox, right? 270, LOL. Yeah. No, it's all good, dude. Every penny counts, dude. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I really do. In the UK, their currency is called. I can't even pronounce. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that. I won't try. Yeah, you got an applause, man. Wonderful. I've got all the fancy bells and whistles, man, on the in-studio streams. You know, I put in a lot of work to get better equipment over the years with the Shure SM7B. During our podcasts, Don has the Shure SM58. Got my Sony A6400 for nice 1080p, 60 frames per second video. It's not worth it streaming in 4K. It's not worth it, and it uses too many resources. But yeah, I've done a lot of work to build this up over the years. So thank you for that. But yeah, I really don't know what more to say right now. I'm at a loss for words. I really just wish this nonsense would stop within this group. And that's why we're in court. And, you know, it's 2026. I honestly feel that this year, a lot of things are going to change for the better. This year, you're going to see a lot of things, at least here at the GNA and within these groups that have been surrounded by a few of these creators that have been commercially exploiting us and defaming us and doing all that. You're gonna see that stop. You're gonna see some court intervention, and you're gonna see how much of a difference it makes. And I'm telling you, folks, if somebody is violating your rights, you know, be like Doug Llewellyn used to say at the very end of every episode of The People's Court: don't take the law into your own hands. You take them to court. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to each other. See you all later today. Bye for now, everyone. Goodbye. Why?